visually to understand where are the gaps, and then provide that targeted change, provide that targeted development for students to transform into the professionals that we want them to become. The second focus or thrust will be on a technological platform. What we want to do is we want to leverage technology to reach our students better, to understand them in depth, right? And use this as a one-on-one transformational initiative with each of our students. So ultimately, the promise remains that if you are coming into Sunstone, you are assured an outcome in terms of that you will leave as a professional. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Abhishek. Just due to some technical glitch, the audience which is seeing me on YouTube here, there was some server issue, but we are right now broadcasting on YouTube. Hi to all those people who have missed us on YouTube. Today, it's a very special day for us. We are actually rebranding from everywhere to everywhere. And Ashish sir, if you can please come and tell us about the vision and mission so that, our audience on YouTube who has missed us can actually connect back.
Sure, absolutely, Harmeet. So again, as I started, Sunstone is actually created to ensure that all the students could get a great state-of-the-art education experience in whichever part of the country they are. And Sunstone has always remained true to its core values, its vision, its mission, that we want to ensure that each and every student in the country who is willing to gain a skill, who wants to get employable, who wants to get the employability skills, should have that access of a great quality education experience. And that's what Sunstone started with, and Sunstone stands true to that vision. We started, as I told you, we started with one college, and in 2019 we were in 5 colleges. Last year we were in 8 colleges. We enrolled 600 plus students last year, and this year we will be enrolling close to 3,000 students in around 20 odd campuses. And one, obviously, in itself, it's a big achievement to grow to such a large number of student enrollment. It just shows the kind of trust that student has put in this academic, in this education institution, which is unheard of in other academic institution, which is a testimony of our education quality, our teachers, our faculties, our curriculum team, our training and development team, the extracurricular activities, the placements, each and everybody, the effort that they have put in. So that's a testimony, that's a sort of a great thumbs up from the student that they are actually preferring this new type of education that they are getting, which is actually making them employable. And keeping that in mind, we have also started to launch different programs. So why only students who have completed their graduation should have access to this kind of education? Why not students who have completed their class 12 should also can get this kind of education? So keeping that in mind, we have launched BBA. So that's essentially the thought process, that eventually this high quality, this holistic education experience should be available to each and every student across the country. So that's essentially what Sunstone vision and Sunstone mission is.
Thank you so much, Ashish. And Piyush, our tagline has changed: education that works. What do you have to say about that?
Yeah, so education that works came after a lot of brainstorming with a lot of stakeholders, and Malvika is going to talk about that in more detail. But essentially, if you look at Sunstone offering, the confidence which we show in our education, the fact that we are so confident that we will give you the right skills which will make you employable, and we are able to offer these programs on a pay after placement basis or a money back guarantee basis. That sort of deliver means that it is an education which actually works. education has to work, meaning it has to result in an outcome. If there is an education which I take and ultimately it's just a piece of paper for me, then it's not an education which I should value, right? It should result in some outcome. I should get a good job. I should be part of the corporate mainstream. That is something which Sunstone Education delivers, and we are so confident about it that we are also able to offer it as a pay after placement program. That is why this is the education which works, which provides you the holistic learning and is filled with great extracurricular activities and good faculty. So the overall experience of education and the outcome which you will achieve, both are great. Hence, it's an education which works for you.
Right. So, Piyush, before we talk about the new brand, the new logo, why don't you tell us, this is the first time we are introducing our new logo. Why don't you talk about the new logo and what it has for us and how is it different from the previous one?
Right. So I would tell you from a very macroscopic level, and then maybe Malvika can take on this. Essentially, the older logo had a very, very rigid sort of a look. Now we are making it far more approachable, at the same time far more practical. This logo is also synonymous with the growth of the student. You can see a step being there. So that is where, it's a step up for the student. It provides a growth path for the student. That is why it resembles an education that works. So that is at a 10,000 feet level, and maybe Malvika, you can sort of, take it at a more detailed level.
Yes. So before we actually, invite Malvika in the panel to speak about the logo, we would actually want to play one very short video, which will be an official mark of the change of the logo. So we play the video now. Yes. Is my screen viewable, Malvika?
No.
No? Okay. Is it viewable now?
No, maybe
we can't see the video.
Yeah, you should play it first and then share your screen.
Okay. Thank you so much. We good to go now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So now it is time for us to unveil the logo in 1, 2, and 3. Yes. So now I would request Malvika to please come and explain us what this new logo is all about. What does the branding mean? Yes.
I think that can be a good branding class for student as well. So it would be good exercise for the students.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I wanted to kind of share about this journey of, taking the old branding and finding this new look for all of us. So the main, I think, question that we were trying to solve was, and what is the real personality of Sunstone Eduversity? And like Ashish said, it's a class. What is a brand? A brand is basically the personality of that organization, if that organization was the person. So we were thinking, what is it that would be the personality of Sunstone if Sunstone was a human being? And for this, we realized that it was probably like a sum of, the aspirational and the personalities of what makes Sunstone, which is, the students, the faculty, the people who kind of make it happen in the company, the founders foremost, and everybody who's associated in making this dream and the mission of education that works, and the mission of result oriented education a reality. So to do that, what we did was we interviewed some students. Some of them were from your batches. There were some students who we kind of surveyed and interviewed, who were not, who potential students who would join in the coming years. Also spoke to recruiters to understand what they want and what they look for and what stands out. And there were many sessions with Ashish and Piyush just getting their vision and finding that intersection of their vision and students' aspirations, because that was very important. And we realized that one common personality between the students and the personality of the brand and the founders and everybody was that it was a very, that in itself, we're all people who are result oriented and are looking for growth. For example, students are ready to take charge of their careers. They are very realist. They appreciate practical approach to education and solving problems. Inquisitive, like to ask questions. And most importantly, they're ready to step up to the challenge of building a very strong career, because the curriculum at Sunstone is very rigorous. There are, obviously, you have to go through so much of training, so much of education. There are so many activities, and you do a lot in that 1 year, in the 2 years that you're here. And just packing all of that up, you've taken up sort of like that big mantle of stepping up to that challenge. And therefore, the logo is also step up and stand out, because it represents everybody who's a part of this big organization, who's ready to step up to any challenge and then stand out with, with merit. As far as the color goes, it's an interesting color combination. The blue is actually the color of the blazer blue, which represents academics. Because academics is the core of what Sunstone does. And there's also like the ochre color, which is like, a tone of mustard, which is there just to give it that, zest, that vibe, to make it approachable and friendly. Because at the end of the day, be it the faculty and the students, everybody's kind of connected together like a family, and there's no hierarchy. You can reach out, find help, and always stay connected. So that is actually how this whole logo kind of like came to being in terms of the concept and the look that it has today.
Thank you so much, Malvika. Absolutely. The blazer blue definitely represents education. And thank you so much for taking that up for us. Having said that, there are some students from our current batch who would want to ask questions to the panel today. We have Nixon Andrew. Nixon, you can unmute yourself and you can ask the question. Yes.
Hello, everyone. I am Nixon Andrew from batch 2022, NIU campus. Thank you for me giving this opportunity. My question is that, what are the things as students we should be inspired and learn from our new logo?
Ashish, you can take that up first.
Sure, definitely. So, Nixon, there are 2-3 things which Malvika and Piyush talked about specifically. One is that this logo talks about, this logo represents independence. This logo represents your ability or the itch that you have to demand what you own. So it's about you stepping out and asking what you deserve and then getting it. So that's something that we expect from every Sunstone student. Basically, that signifies one and every Sunstone student, that they would be out there in the market, in the corporate world, and they can get their due. They will not be somebody who will be sitting in the corner, will not ask for what their due is. They will be out there. They are very independent. So this is all what this new logo signifies. And that's what one of the tagline also is, that step out and step up, right? So this is truly what signifies a Sunstone student.
Good to talk with you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Nixon. Thank you. Thank you for joining us. Having said that, we have a next student, Aman Aryan, who has a question to ask. Yes, Aman, you can unmute yourself and ask the question.
Hello, everyone. Hello, sir and ma'am. My name is Aman Aryan, and I am from batch 2022-2022. Well, thank you for giving me this opportunity. Well, my question is, how does rebranding benefit an organization?
Right. I'll take this one. So, Aman, whenever
Yes.
there is a organization which feels that they need to contemporize to the values which they stand for, and they feel that maybe the current branding is not something which is sort of representing the true values they stand for, or maybe the market dynamics has changed a bit. So there, at that point, there is a brand rebranding need which arises. You would have seen certain logos if you do some Google search. How there are great case studies on how Starbucks probably has evolved over years, or maybe how Maruti has. You would see some very small things, but they would have evolved over the years. That is to contemporize themselves and to make sure that they are relevant to the market they are operating in, and essentially head to head with the competition.
I hope we could answer that question, Aman.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you.
How does it feel to be a part of Sunstone, Aman?
Well, it's a damn good. The faculty and all the members of Sunstone is very good. Like they used to teach us very, very goodly. Like they used to teach us like I am their children. So all the faculties are very good, and the system of teaching.
I think honestly, there has been a tremendous increase in your speaking language, the way you conduct yourself. And I thought from the first time I met you, I should definitely mention that.
Yes, ma'am. Well, thank you so much to all of you. Thank you, all.
Thank you, Aman. Thank you. Having said that, we have Sonali with us. Sonali, if you can please unmute yourself and ask your question. Yes.
Hello, good evening, all.
Good evening.
I am from NID campus. I am 2022 batch, ma'am. And my question is, why was the old branding changed?
Okay, I think we have already answered that, but to cater to your question, Malvika, if you can take that up first.
Yeah, I think it's pretty much what Piyush said about the first question, that the reason why the old branding had to go was because it no longer kind of like, maybe parts of it, but did not completely fit into the, futuristic and the modern vision that we were growing with. We are growing with, like everybody mentioned, that so many new campuses, so many new courses are coming up, and it's going to become a very big a much bigger place with a lot of diverse people. It was important to kind of like refresh that look and feel to, be able to communicate that bigger vision better. Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Sonali. Thank you for joining us. Yes, please, Weber.
Sonali, at least now you can tell us why you think Sunstone changed it, right? So you've studied marketing for 2 trimesters. So you should be quickly able to count on your fingers, reason A, reason B, reason C, reason D. Right? And kind of get back to us which one you feel. So why we think.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
I'll wait for your answer.
Yes, and there is something very interesting coming towards the end of the webinar, which is a contest, and that is where I would like to know your input, Sonali. Okay. Thank you so much, Sonali. Thank you. Thank you. We have Karishma Dogra with us. Hi, Karishma. You have a question? Yes.
Yes, I have. Good evening, everyone. I am from batch 20 to 22nd from NIT campus. My question is that how does the new branding depict, and how is different from old one?
So basically your question is, how is the new branding different from the old one in terms of messaging? Ankur, can you take that up for us?
Yeah. So, as everyone said, the new branding is a combination of two things, which is academics, which is the core of everything what we do, but also depicts that we are in this new era, and it talks about new energy, vibrancy. And if you look at the logos, we say stand up and step up, because education is the first step which will define our next 40-45 years of our career, our professional growth. And this is what we want it to be aligned, not only from what we teach, what we tell you, but also from how does our logo, how does our company, what are the colors. So it should be imbibed in every element of Sunstone. And I am 100% sure you will be very proud of it.
Thank you so much, sir. And I am very proud of it. Become the student of Sunstone University.
Thank you so much, Karishma.
Thank you.
That's
so
so
glad
sweet
to
of
hear
you. Thank you. Thank you. There's another student we had, Vivek Singh, if he's here. Yes, Vivek is here. Vivek, can you please unmute yourself? Yes, Vivek, you had a question.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Hello, everyone. Myself, Vivek Singh from NIT campus batch 2022. Sir, my question is that what new changes are planned in terms of curriculum to make us industry ready?
That's a very, very nice question. I think Abhishek Banerjee should take that up in terms of placements in training and development. Yes, Abhishek.
Sure. Hi, Vivek. And see, like I mentioned earlier, a focus for us is going to be to make you a professional, right? And this experience we promise you irrespective of the course that you will take. So what we have planned are a set of interventions which include, like your colleagues have already laid out here, which is industry interactions or maybe industry visits, international visits, exposing you to different forums across India and globally. What we also want to do is work individually with each one of you through technology or through our training team to know where exactly your gaps are. See, what we want to do is we want to develop each one of you into professionals. For that, we need to really understand where you are right now. And that is where we are going to focus on. So the content, the academics, the extracurriculars, the training activities, they will all work together to help you develop on the specific areas where you need to develop. Not everybody needs to develop on the same areas. And we know we have a very diverse batch, which has different kinds of strengths and different weaknesses. So we want to nurture the strengths. We want to target your development areas. And over the course of the years that you will spend with us, we will help you develop into a professional. So different initiatives are planned. Like I said, some of them will be simple, simple things like greater interaction with faculty, greater interactions with the T&D team, greater interactions with the industry. But we'll also be trying to leverage technology to really reach into your mind and help you develop and see your own development. So exciting times are ahead of us, and at least that's going to be my responsibility. I hope I've answered your question.
Yes, sir. I got it.
Can I also add a few things from the academic side?
Yes, of course.
So,
yes,
so hi Vivek. As you saw in trimester 1 and 2, you're going to be having a whole new set of 8 subjects, and they are very, very exciting. You have retail, you'll be learning about retail operations, consumer behavior. There's something very special and unique that we've introduced is new age business models, which is talking about, how the urban businesses and the new business that you know about, how do they make revenue? How is their revenue calculated, right? You've heard about accruals and things like that. So that is there. Then operations is coming in, and then you have statistics. So because now with you've learned Excel quite a lot. Now with business statistics, you are on the path if you want to specialize tomorrow in analytics, right? Similarly, if you want to build a career in sales, right? You studied marketing, you've done sales and distribution, right? And now you're going to be studying consumer behavior. So, on that track, you're there to, even it doesn't matter which specialization you choose, but the background and the platform, that step, again, I'm coming back to from our logo, has been set for you for this path. Secondly, we're going to be having more of industry people coming and talking to you. So in trimester 2, there was less, because in trimester 1, there were a lot of industry. So we're going to be having a lot of industry sessions also, where you will have people from these domains. There's a reason we didn't do much of that, because you were still building your foundation, and now you have knowledge, right? Now if I ask Abhishek to get you the CEO of a particular company, right, you can actually debate with him, because you've studied, you have the content, right? You can argue with him, sir, but why the step is blue, right? Can it be orange? And have a very positive discussion. And I feel that confidence in all of you every time we speak to you. So these are the things that are planned from an academic point of view, right? But what I'm personally looking for you is to learning more about you. When you give the MBIT exam, and it's just transformation, just doing it, you will understand, okay, nobody understood me, but this test is telling me really who I am, right? And it'll tell you whether you like to work individually. Are you a quiet person? Do you like to work in teams? And it would give you suggestion as to, where you should build your career, right? So if you're a person who's a totally team man, likes working with team, things, operations kind of roles and sales kind of role work well. If you're a quiet person who also likes to eat alone, keeps thinking, is an introvert, more on the analytical side, process-based side roles work. So, there's a whole science behind it, which we will introduce you, and that is going to be very, very exciting, that are coming up. So me and Abhishek are working very, very closely to plan out these things for you. And we have a whole range of this thing.
Okay,
Vivek. Thank you so much, Vaibhav. Yes, Vivek, you had something to say, Vivek?
No, ma'am, I got it.
Okay. Thank you so much for joining us, Vivek, online. Thank you. Thank you. So having said that, Vaibhav, there are a lot of questions on our YouTube channel asking us when our classes are starting. If you can please take that up from us, from the academics perspective, when our classes are going to start.
So, most of you have been informed about this on the academic calendar, that our trimester 2 exams are going to be happening in July 3rd. And then from July 9th, your trimester 3 is going to start. If you want to have the exams, I'm ready, right? My question papers are ready. So I read somewhere that somebody wants to have their exams. No, I'm fine, right? You tell me whether you want to take the exams tomorrow, I can launch it. So I think those details have already been shared. Yes. So you can also connect with your academic coordinators there. They have this information. Most of them have been informed. Maybe you must have missed out. So please just check. Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Vaibhav, for taking that up for us. Having said that, Ankur, this year something really special is happening at Sunstone, which is the launch of BBA program. Can you please tell us something about this? Just a little sneak peek, because we're going to have a dedicated webinar very soon, and we'll be announcing that on social media platforms soon. But what is this BBA program for undergraduates now?
Yeah, so, it's first of all, thanks a lot. Yes, this is a very exciting for all of us, because now we are, as we say, we take accountability of our students. So we said, why not only for postgrad students, why not for undergrad students? So we started with a very small, very first step, which is a BBA. We believe that a lot of students, after passing from 12th standard, they start taking BBA as a step towards management so that they can grow professionally. So that was for us a very very simple and straightforward step. This is gonna be a 3-year undergrad program spread across 6 semesters. A lot of exciting things, and that's how we will match it up with the industry-ready students, is that there will be a 10 months internship, which no other colleges provide that, because ultimately what we always say, that education has to work. Education will only work if you get industry exposure. So along with the academics, you will get an opportunity to do 3 internships, one of 2 months after first year, then 2 months after second year, then 6 months in your final year, which is a great thing. And the second very good thing, which I'm personally very excited about, is that there will also be a global immersion program as a part of a BBA, which means the students in pursuing BBA will also get an opportunity to travel to any of these 3 world trade centers for 10 days and get a real-time exposure that how does the global companies work. Apart from that, we will be launching BBA at least in 6 campuses. As of now, we are already live in 3. More details on our website. So look forward to have this new program running very successfully under the brand.
Thank you so much, Ankur, for taking that up for us. Having said that, this year we're going to have BBA. So Abhishek, in terms of training and development, in terms of placements, how is the approach going to be different than our MBA students? Abhishek, over to you.
Thanks, Arvind. So, like I said, the training and placement function is going to be an underlying layer which sort of sits beyond our academics activities and different campuses. We understand that the profile of students who are coming out of the BBA program and will be slightly different from those coming out of our already established MBAs ones. So the whole idea is that we are going to be a lot more targeted in our approach when it comes to placements. We recognize that we are turning out students who stand out from the rest of the crowd. They will be much more industry ready. I'm quite confident and aggressive about this, that I'm sure that our students will be much more industry ready, much more professionals, much stronger professionals, compared to their peers outside in the market. So we are going to have very targeted and focused approach towards placements. Again, the idea behind placements is not just to get a job, but to launch that individual or that student on a career trajectory where we know they will grow based on their strengths that we have experience with them, right? So it's going to be a whole lot, targeted placements based again on our experience with the students, their aspirations, their strengths. So that's what I would like to say.
Absolutely. Definitely, Abhishek, we're going to have a very dedicated webinar with you and your entire team for training and development so that we can get insights from everything you guys are doing new. Thank you so much, Abhishek, for taking that up for us. Having said that, we have a very interesting question on our Zoom chat. But before we ask Piyush and Ashish to take that up for us, I would quickly like to share my screen. The question is, what does this, bigger caps and smaller caps mean? Yes, Piyush, over to you. Sri Harsha is the current batch of student who has asked this question. Yes.
Hi, Sri Harsha. Good evening. So Sri Harsha, like every other element, this also has a meaning to it. You would have realized that, and all of you would have come from undergrad colleges. You would have friends in other B schools or other PG colleges. You would have realized that, at least that is what we believe, that Sunstone is far more approachable, yet formal. So, Vaibhav sir is almost always reachable. Ashish might have, scheduled a lot of sessions with you when your batches started. So right now, all of us are talking to you. So with that sort of approachability, which is there, yet that formalness is maintained. So it sort of depicts approachable yet formal. That is the element which we are trying to depict here from this solid, bold, but small in caps sort of a letter.
Thank you so much, Piyush. And Malvika, what is this with the ochre color? If you can please explain this. This looks very interesting.
So our main brand colors are definitely blue and white, and that's what we will use 90% of the times. But you can imagine, again, if it's just blue and white, it will become, again, very formal and will kind of like be a little boring and monotonous as well. So just to add that zing, add a little bit of, more approachability and fun vibe to it, because we are, a very modern, future-looking organization. This color is basically an accent color, which we will keep using, to add a bit of style in things and to add in that, extra spark of approachability.
So I think what Malvika is saying, ki everybody on the screen which is wearing blue are the boring guys and I am the fun.
I think that was very well depicted by, Piyush, but I'm sure she didn't mean that. But having said that, we have another question from Rishabh Tengoria, who's a YouTube viewer. He says, Ashish, that's over to you. I think we've answered this over and over again, but I think we would still want to do it. How can a company or college return the whole fees if student is not placed? They would be in great loss. Sir, please clarify. Ashish, sir, over to you.
Absolutely. So it actually works both ways. When we say pay after placement, we obviously mean that we are putting our skin in the game. We are taking accountability of your education, but we also expect a lot of effort and hard work in return from all the students. And this is something that I have iterated multiple times, and this is something that I will continue keep saying every time a student asks me about pay after placement. Yes, a lot of effort is required from a student side. It will never ever happen that you have taken admission in Sunstone and now you can just relax and sit, and after 2 years or after 3 years you will get a job. That is not going to happen. So if any student has any sort of misconception, any myth, that is not going to happen. If Sunstone is offering pay after placement, that does not mean that you have to put any less effort to get into a job. It actually means that you have to put more effort to get into a job, because we will also push you now much more harder as compared to any other college, because we have taken a responsibility. So it's sort of a joint responsibility that we are taking with you, and we are coming together and we are taking this joint responsibility that we will ensure that you get into good jobs. Having said that, what we are saying is that if you have put in effort and we have put in effort, what we believe is that there is no way that you cannot get into a job. But just in case, even after putting all sort of efforts in academia, in training and development, in placements, even if after putting all sort of efforts, if still a student is unable to get a placement, we will return the fee. But what we have seen so far is that when we put effort, when student puts effort, that sort of a situation has never come in. So essentially, it has never happened that a student graduating from Sunstone who has put effort has not gotten a job. So it actually makes us is a win-win sort of a scenario rather than a win-lose sort of a scenario.
And I just want to add there.
Yes,
see, as students, what we want to say is that we are as concerned, if not more, about your future. And we are putting ourselves, the organization is in the same boat. We are the same team. The outcome here is your future. And the pay after placement is just a reiteration of that commitment that we are in the same boat. We are standing right by you and we care about what happens to your future. That's all pay after placement model is about. And like Ashish said, we are confident about the outcomes that we can deliver for you if you work jointly with us. If you give that commitment, we are ready with our commitment.
Absolutely. There, Abhishek, thank you so much for taking that up for us. Having said that, we have a question from Dipanshu Gupta on YouTube. He says, I am in 2 years of my graduation. And after completing my graduation, I also want to take admission through Sunstone Eduversity. Is there anything I can do for the preparation now? I think Vaibhav, over to you.
So I think I'm a firm believer is that, what you're doing currently, you should focus on that. Look at the admission criteria. I'll tell you what the admission process is, but Ankur here, who heads the whole admission process, would be a better person to answer. But in terms of check the eligibility criteria, you need to have more than 50% in your graduation, right? We take a basic aptitude test. There is an interview round, and I'm sure you'll perform well. But And in terms of preparation, I mean, a lot of reading, right? That totally helps, about MBA, what careers you want to take. And today information is so early available. So, I mean, once you're in Sunstone, we take you through the whole gambit. Like before an interview, on average, one student does 10 mock interviews on average, and those are recorded video interviews, right? So we do prepare you. So basis, you are accountable and I'm accountable for you. So it's a very, very similar kind of a model that we work on. What I would say is enjoy the graduation that you're doing currently. And I would, on the fun thing, I would just say, sleep as much as you can, right? So once you come into Sunstone, right, sleep is it's the currency that runs on, right? So sleep as much before you join Sunstone, as much as you can. Sleep for 2 days, right? Because once you're here, there's going to be a fun-filled thing. You'll be like partying with friends, you'll be doing assignments together. But sleep is a currency that is the most valued, right? I slept for 2 hours yesterday. I slept for 4 hours. That is how at Sunstone most of the students are. That becomes a very, very strong currency. So enjoy your graduation.
Vaibhav, Bollywood style में बोला जाए तो Vaibhav, Bollywood style में बोला जाए तो once students get enrolled, चैन से सोना है तो जाग जाओ. Is that what you were trying to say?
I'm probably. So that is there. So that is my 2 cents to you all.
Thank you so much, Vaibhav, for taking that up for us. Since Vaibhav already has mentioned Ankur, if you want to add something here. Plus, Ankur, there's another question from Vivek Kumar. He says on Zoom, good evening to all. Good evening. All I want to ask that now the other courses are also in Sunstone Eduversity. So the uniqueness like pay after placement or money back guarantee offers are also available in the new courses? Yes, Ankur, over to you.
Thank you, Hamid. So yeah, so first of all, I think Vaibhav summed it up very well for us. What is it required to get admission in Sunstone? And yes, when we are launching other programs, I just want to make one thing very clear. See, guys, ultimately it's about the career. It's not about the money or it's not about the fees. Okay, ultimately once we complete our education, we want to build ourselves on a strong fundamentals, which means each one of us should aspire to get a great job. But having said that, yes, we will take accountability of your career. So pay after placement option is there for BBA programs also in summary.
Thank you so much, Ankur. Having said that, Malvika Ashish, our current student says, does this stair kind of logo mean to become a leader in climbing the stairs of success?
I think that's a great interpretation. And of course, at the end of the day, like any art design work, it's always open for interpretation. If that is what resonates with you and you feel that this stepping up is because you want to be a leader in the future, and if that it's a step up towards leadership, then definitely that is true, because eventually I think we all need to kind of the path for success is through leadership, and this is a journey towards it.
Thank you, Malvika, for taking that up for us. Ashish, we have a question from Sambit Kumar Parija. He says, at the time of pandemic, is there any campus which is coming this year? And a lot of questions we have got from a lot of webinars, if Odisha is going to be one of them. Ashish, over to you.
Yeah, so as you know, we have launched a lot of campuses till now this year. We have already launched around 6 campuses, I think, and we have launched, I think, 5 new cities this year. And Odisha definitely is a very big market. Odisha, already we are getting a lot of students from state of Odisha. So Odisha is a market, is a state where we want to be. 2 reasons. One, obviously, it's a large state, but majorly because the students that we have seen from the state, they are actually very, very hardworking. They are one of the most genuine students who I have seen till now in Sunstone. So definitely would love to be in Odisha. But when will we in Odisha? I think Ankur here would be the right person to answer that. whether we'll be in Odisha this year or we'll be in Odisha next year. Definitely next year, we definitely will be in Odisha, but we are also trying and thinking and sort of exploring that if we can be in Odisha this year. But yeah, over to Ankur to shed some more light on it.
No, so thanks Ashish. As I said earlier, that all of us live with this dream that the quality education should be closer to you, and Odisha is one of those closer and good destination for us. If I have to put a number, I think we are trying our best to have a campus this year itself, because seeing a lot of every webinar we see so many queries coming from Odisha. Definitely we'll have a campus in Odisha.
Thank you so much, Ankur, for taking that up for us. We have another very interesting question from one of our students. He says, Nitesh says, share some tips of how we can step up and stand out with respect to the current job trends. So, Abhishek, if you can take that up for us.
Sure, thanks. So Nitesh, all I want to say is two things. First, have confidence in yourself. Realize that you are in charge of your future. So as long as you do that, you will see opportunities where none exist. And have faith in yourself, have faith in your teachers, your faculty, and Sunstone. We are, like I said, standing right by you. Even if the situation is tough, it doesn't mean that you don't get to grow professionally. That won't happen. We won't allow it to happen. So all I would say is maintain that positivity, maintain that focus that yes, I want to go ahead and enter the corporate world as a professional this year, irrespective of what the external environment is. See, we cannot control external factors. This is not the first time it has happened. This is not the last time that it will happen to us. But we are here standing by you with all the resources, all the support. We'll help you identify opportunities which are right for you and help you prepare for it. And I'm sure it will be a successful year for all our students.
Right. Thank you so much, Abhishek. We have another question from a YouTube user, Kongam Vinku Singh. He says, is there any chance to get placement in large MNCs if I enroll in Sunstone? Abhishek, over to you.
Why not? Doesn't matter. See, again, what I would like to stress is, as a professional, opportunities exist everywhere. So focus more on what the opportunity is about, how it will help you develop as a professional. Again, the organization that you join. See, we are in an exciting new world. Companies are becoming, like, I'm sure if anyone reads the papers, we have had several unicorns this year and the previous years just in India. Forget about the Silicon Valley. So by size of organization, if you mean a legacy organization, yes, there might be some, and definitely we continue to place students in such organizations. But again, see, the definition of large or established is quite fluid these days. You join something which is up and coming right now, and tomorrow you will see that, okay, I have become part of a brand which is quite established, in the industry. So again, what we'll help you do is help you be placed at organizations which are right for you, in positions and opportunities that are right for you. And that's what we specialize in. So, right. So have confidence again in your abilities, and then we approach the market with a positive and a professional frame of mind. That's all I ask.
Right. Thank you so much, Abhishek. Yes, Fairhab.
And I also wanted to talk to you, add something to what Abhishek said. So Abhishek said about the placement things, because I have seen his corporate connects, the type of companies that have come this year itself, from Axis Bank to all the, MNCs that are there with the highest placement package. Now, the one thing that is important, and that what Sunstone delivers on, in addition, is making you understand how you can add value to those organizations, right? What are those things those organizations are looking for in an employee, right? So those are never explained very well, right? I mean, you must have always applied for a job. Most of you would have applied, you know, you would have gotten rejected. You wouldn't even haven't gotten a rejected name, you know, you would have called the HR. But what we try to do over these 2 years with you is make you understand, right? These are the skills the company wants. Now, how many of them you have? And it's fine to start with zero. I'm telling you, it's totally fine to start with zero. You may not know English, you may not know communication, you may not know physics. I mean, sorry, not physics, but you may not know management lessons, you may not know sales. It's fine to be at zero when you start at Sunstone. But the point is, how many of these skills can you add 2 years later?
Right.
Sunstone is a place where you can come, you can experiment, you can make mistakes, make as many mistakes as you want to. But at the end of 2 years, you will not get a third opportunity after your MBA to make more mistakes. You will not get it, right? What will you do after MBA? You know, which graduation degree would you take to get a placement? There is nothing. PhD, right? That's a 5-year course, and not everyone who goes for a PhD gets a PhD. So this is your last opportunity and this is our last opportunity. So what you really need to come back is that, you know, till now I have not been able to make it to MNC. This time I'm going to make it to an MNC and we will show you the way. We will give you those skills, right? But you have to be ready to slog it out. If you need to learn Excel, you need to know functions, you need to learn finance. We will tell you that A, B, C, D, if you know, you will get it. We will get you the right people, but that learning has to be yours. So this is something that I just wanted to add over Abhishek. I mean, I know Abhishek has the ability to, you know, just put his hand on someone and get him to the door. But once you're sitting at the interview table, right, that employer is going to ask you, because he doesn't only see you, right? He's got 10 CVs. For every position, there are at least 100 students who are there. And he has, I mean, he's got a lottery, right? He can choose. Now, how do you make yourself step up and stand out is something that we want to kind of work with you.
Absolutely, Vaibhav. Thank you so much for adding your inputs, Vaibhav. Having said that, Ankur, we have a question for you from Sweetie, who is a current student. Hello, ma'am. I'm Sweetie from NIT Campus 2022. Batch, my question is, when will the Guwahati campus start? Because my friends are asking me and I'm already a student. Please tell me. I'll be very happy, and I'm very happy as a Sunstonian. Yes, Ankur, over to you.
Wow. Thank you, Amit. And thanks a lot, Sweetie. You know, thanks for being our ambassador. You know, we really appreciate this. And we are very proud to tell you that we have launched our first campus in the Northeast. It's a very beautiful campus in the city of Guwahati. It's Assam Downtown University. And again, we are very proud to tell you the admission process is on. So you can tell your friends. And more importantly, there's one more thing. We have a referral program for you. You know, so all the current students and the alumni, they can refer their friends to join and become a part of this wonderful journey, which is known as Sunstone. We'll share the referral link and you can win a lot of awards also by referring us. Thank you.
थैंक यू सो मच अंकुर. एक सवाल है जो मुझे आप सबसे पूछना है, जो हमें हर वेबिनार में आता है, और मैं इसीलिए हिंदी में बात कर रही हूँ बिकॉज ये क्वेश्चन ही कुछ ऐसा है कि हमें अगर अंग्रेजी नहीं आती है तो हम क्या करेंगे? क्या हमें निकाल दिया जाएगा? क्या हमारी जॉब नहीं लगेगी? We'll start with Piyush, and I want everybody's opinion on this. Yes, Ashish, if you want to go first. Yes.
Yeah. So I'll go first. And I'll start because I come from that background, and where I come from a tier 3 sort of a background. जिस तरह की स्कूलिंग हुई है मेरी, हमारे स्कूल में obviously nobody used to speak in English, and in fact we used to make fun of the student जो English में बात करते थे. So I would say कि English बोल पाना is definitely an added advantage, but ये आपको किसी भी चीज से वंचित नहीं करता है. तो ऐसा नहीं है कि अगर आपको इंग्लिश बोलनी नहीं आती है तो आप अपने जीवन में, अपने करियर में कुछ अचीव करने से आपको कोई रोक सकता है. ऐसा बिल्कुल भी नहीं है. व्हाट आई फील इज मोर इम्पॉर्टेंट इज दैट आपकी कम्युनिकेशन स्किल्स कैसी हैं. क्या आप अपनी बात को अच्छे से सामने वाले को समझा पा रहे हैं या नहीं पा रहे हैं. बाकी एज फार एज इंग्लिश और हिंदी इज कंसर्न, इट जस्ट अ मीडियम, जिस तरीके से जिस भाषा में आप अपनी बात को सामने वाले को समझा पा रहे हैं, उस तक पहुंचा पा रहे हैं. एंड इफ यू लुक एट इवन इन द कॉर्पोरेट्स, मतलब बहुत सारे बच्चे, जैसे हम लोग अगर सनस्टोन की बात करें या जो प्रीवियस कंपनीज में हम लोग खुद काम करके आए हैं, देयर आर लॉट ऑफ एमएनसीज दैट ऑल ऑफ अस विद इन दिस ग्रुप वी हैव वर्कड इन लॉट ऑफ एमएनसीज, राइट. तो ऐसा नहीं है कि हम लोग अपनी कंपनी में, लेट्स से अगर अंकुर अमेजोन में था या एयरटेल में था या मैं बैंक ऑफ अमेरिका में था, डेलॉइट में था, तो हम लोग अपनी कंपनीज में इंग्लिश में बात करते थे अपने कलीग से. इट नेवर यूज्ड टू हैपन. Obviously, if you're talking to somebody who is from a different country, then definitely you will talk in English. But अगर आप अपने colleague से बात कर रहे हैं, तो obviously you talk in Hindi, you talk in whichever regional language or your mother tongue, या जो सामने वाले इंसान को जो भाषा समझ में आती है. और ये बात मैं हर बार स्टूडेंट्स को भी बोलता हूँ कि हम सबका सॉर्ट ऑफ दुर्भाग्य ये है कि इंटरव्यू में एवरीबडी एक्सपेक्ट्स कि आप इंटरव्यू इंग्लिश में देंगे. So that 30 minute of conversation has to be in English. उसके बाद कभी हम इंग्लिश में बात नहीं करेंगे शायद. And this is something that all of us here sitting would actually testify to that. Let's say when Malvika and I was meeting, when she was exploring to join Sunstone, we only talk only in English, right? And उसके बाद से शायद हमने कभी इंग्लिश में बात नहीं करी होगी. And that's true for all of us. That's true for each and every company in India. Unless until, as I said, you're talking to somebody who is from a different country, then you will speak in English. Otherwise, offices में सब जगह you talk in your regional language or you talk in Hindi. So उतना English आनी जरूरी है कि आप interview crack कर लें. I don't think उसके beyond English matters a lot, but definitely your communication skills matters a lot, and which is very, very different from your ability to speak in a certain language.
Absolutely there. Thank you, Ashish, for taking that up for us. I want everybody's opinion on this. So, Piyush, if you can go next.
Right. So, I would just like to give a very, very short answer to this. Articulation is not equal to fluency. And articulation is what really matters. अगर आपके जो thoughts हैं, if you can communicate that to the other person, that is something which matters. If you are not able to communicate, then it doesn't matter. Even if you have great English, you will still struggle, because that is really the most important thing. So you should be able, जो आप सोच रहे हैं, जो आप कहना चाह रहे हैं, that is far more important. And these are all different aspects of communication. So articulation and fluency of speaking is very, very different. They are both different aspects of communication.
Right, thank you. Weber, from the students' perspective and from the perspective of the current batch, and there are so many students, specifically Pranjal and so many other students who came very underconfident. But now when they speak, there's a Zameen Asman ka difference. Weber, over to you.
Yeah, so I mean, Pranjal is a great example. I remember, his first few days at campus, very meek, not confident, but over a period of time, he's hosting webinars now. So, and he's become a great leader, and he's got all the potentials to be a great leader. But जहां तक इंग्लिश की बात है, अगर मैं ये पूछूं कि किसी को सिर्फ इंग्लिश आता है, तो क्या उसको नौकरी मिल जाएगी? वो भी नहीं मिलेगी. तो ये इट इज अ मिक्सचर ऑफ थिंग्स कि आपको और क्या आता है. अब आप देख लो, इफ यू गो टू बैंगलोर, हैदराबाद, एनीवेयर, पीपल, फैंटास्टिक कोडर्स अर्निंग मोर देन 1 lakh rupees a month, but they cannot communicate in English. They're doing it in their local language, but coding उनको आती है. Right, you look at any different field. So sales, I mean, I don't think so there are, I mean, how many English speaking salesmen that are there? Operations, Amazon की फैक्ट्रियां भरी हैं, आप देख लो कितने लोगों को इंग्लिश आता है. जो हुआ है, right, as Ashish said, it is important for two things. One is to impress your HR that you can communicate, right? If you know your things, right, that is the first step, right? You need to know your things, and 15-minute ki English you can manage. And I have gone through the same thing personally, right? I was in Germany, as Harmeet mentioned. I wanted to get into consulting, and I must have applied to each and every consulting company there was, and I got rejected everywhere. And I got rejected in the last round, which is the partner round. And if you get to the partner round, it's done. It's just a hi, hello, congratulations. And I was so unfortunate that I got into each and every partner round, but because of my German skills, I didn't know German, right? I was rejected everywhere. Then there was this boutique consulting company, one of the best offices I've ever visited in my life. They give me an opportunity. My content was good. I told them, again, partner round, I said, why don't you give me 6 months, right? I'm really interested. I went to a village in Germany. I left everything, right? I had 2,000 euros in my pocket. I learned German. And I learned there are different levels in German, A1, A2, B1, B2. I learned till B2. And I came back and I gave my interview in German. It was not perfect German, but it demonstrated that I am here to stay. Right? Because consulting, it is you do your work and then you have to talk to clients. And I used to miss out on that, because if I just was an analyst, I was doing backroom stuff, then, the kind of money that I wanted, I was not getting that. Right? So I wanted a higher salary, and that required. And they gave me a 6-month management training thing. So I started off from there. So that is about how badly you want something, right? World is not going to give you things on a plate. You have to go and take it for yourself. And each of these people who are sitting there as panelists, they have had to go and take what they wanted. Nobody is here. Right. Yeah, your parents don't give you what you want after you're 18. Yeah. मतलब
right.
शादी एंड एजुकेशन के ऊपर वो भी नहीं देते, और आजकल तो वो भी कम कर दिया, खुद कर लो, बाकी चीजें तुम्हें लेनी है
जी। एब्सोल्युटली एब्सोल्युटली।
तो इंग्लिश क्या चीज है यार? आई मीन 2 साल में मेहनत करेंगे, साथ में you'll know what you need to know enough.
Absolutely. It's Vaibhav and Abhishek, as I said, will work closely and will make sure that your English is on the, on the mark. Abhishek, what do you have to say about this? अंग्रेजी कितनी important है आपके हिसाब से? Because ये बहुत बड़ा common question है ये.
Right. So again, I'll just reiterate what Piyush said. If you are able to convey your thoughts clearly, first of all, learn to think clearly. एक बार सोचना क्लियर है कि हाँ मैं क्लियरली सोच सकता हूँ, उसके बाद उसे हिंदी में ट्रांसलेट करें या उसको इंग्लिश में एक्सप्रेस करें, बात देखिए. योर कैपेबिलिटीज, योर expression, your articulation, these are much more important. English again is required because it's the currency that we use to communicate globally, but within the corporate context as well. If you're able to demonstrate your knowledge of the subject, your mastery of the concepts, that is more than, I feel. So it's definitely not going to stop a brilliant student from, getting the position that he wants. But again, we are all students, so there is no harm in learning English, right? But again, it is something that can be learned. It has been proven again and again and again that it's not hard to learn a language. So it is something that you can go from, let's say, minimal proficiency to good proficiency in 6 to 8 months time. So definitely nothing to worry about. That's all I want to say.
Thank you so much, Abhishek. Over to you, Ankur. Ankur, इस जवाब को हम हिंदी में सुनना चाहेंगे.
No, I think वही है, because वैभव ने जैसा बोला ना कि शायद सारे सेल्स वालों को भी नहीं आती है, तो मुझे लगा मेरे लिए बोल रहा है. Because मैं भी एक बहुत I also come from a very small town. मैं जम्मू से आया हूँ. 12th तक मैंने पढ़ाई जम्मू में की है, और हमारी पढ़ाई largely like all other students हिंदी में ही होती है, ठीक है? तो and I agree with all of the other speakers. एक चीज बहुत ध्यान में रखो यार, इंग्लिश स्पीकिंग स्किल्स एक स्किल है जैसे बाकी सारी स्किल्स हैं आपके करियर के लिए. तो इंग्लिश स्पीकिंग उतनी ही इंपॉर्टेंट है जितना इंग्लिश लिखना है, जितना एटीट्यूड है, जितना प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग है, जितना नंबर क्रंचिंग है. तो इंग्लिश स्किल इज नॉट 100% रीजन फॉर यू टू गेट अ जॉब और नॉट अ गेट अ जॉब. ओके, तो इसको उतना ही ध्यान रखो. और एज एवरीवन सेड कि यार हम लोग अगर साथ में पढ़ेंगे, साथ में करेंगे, तो इतना तो क्लियर कर लेंगे कि वो आधे घंटे का जो गेट कीपर वाला जो इंग्लिश का इंटरव्यू है वो निकल जाएगा। और एक चीज मान के चलो, आज की डेट में बाकी लोग भी जो इंटरव्यू ले रहा है उसको भी पता है कि क्या इस बंदे और बंदी में एटीट्यूड सही है काम करने का, क्या ये ग्रो कर सकता है। इंग्लिश नहीं मैटर करती आफ्टर सर्टेन टाइम। सो इंग्लिश इज जस्ट वन स्मॉल स्किल विच यस वी शुड ऑल हैव इट, बट इट्स नॉट एंड ऑफ। अगर मैं भी यहां से पहुंचा हूं जम्मू से पढ़ाई शुरू करके, तो आप सब भी पहुंच सकते हो।
Right. Malvika, over to you. Malvika, unmute. Yes.
Yeah. So I feel that almost everybody said everything about it, and I couldn't agree more, because it is true that in India, like, we're all bilingual or some, like, we all have this comfort. And in fact, जब हम एक brand या marketing के बारे में भी सोचते हैं, there's a certain, formality that is with English. But all of us, no matter what our first language is, the connection and the real conversation always happens in our mother tongues. तो unless आप हिंदी में किसी से बात ना करो, वो feeling ही बाहर नहीं आती है बात की। तो connection जो है वो कई बार लैंग्वेज से बनता है, एंड वो रिलेशनशिप और कनेक्शन और अपना मैसेज किसी और तक पहुंचाना इज द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग। लैंग्वेज अगर तुम्हें आए तो मे बी तुम एक्स्ट्रा लोगों से, इफ समबडी इज फ्रॉम अ डिफरेंट कंट्री और फ्रॉम अ डिफरेंट पार्ट ऑफ इंडिया, डोंट नो योर लोकल लैंग्वेज, तो आप थोड़ा और अच्छे से शायद एक्सप्लेन कर सकते हो। बट एट द सेम टाइम अगर आप उससे भी कनेक्ट ना कर पाओ, तो देन लैंग्वेज बिकम्स सॉर्ट ऑफ लाइक रिडंडेंट। सो आई वुड अग्री विद एवरीबडी टू से दैट इट शुड नॉट बी अ वरी. Knowing how to build connections and actually, being able to communicate the real meaning of what you want to say is more important than anything else.
Right. Thank you so much, Malvika, for sharing your opinions with us. Having said that, we have come towards the end of our webinar, but there is something for all the students on Zoom and all the viewers on YouTube. That is, we are launching a contest, which is, our hashtag education that works. So what do you think about, and what do you want to say about hashtag education that works? You can actually take a screenshot of any of our social media handles and tag us and write your opinion, and the first 3 winners will get an Amazon voucher worth ₹500. Yes, so all you have to do, I'll repeat, just take a screenshot of the new logo or anything, the new grid on our social media handle, any platform, and just tag us on any of the platforms and just write what do you think about hashtag education that works, and you might win and be the top 3 winner of an Amazon voucher worth ₹500. Having said that, we have come towards the end of the webinar, but before we wrap it up, one last thing I would want everybody to participate in. What is that one line that comes to your mind when I say education that works? We'll start with Malvika this time. Malvika, over to you. Ladies first.
So education that works means result-oriented education, and education that will get to your final goal. Education that is measurable, because you know what you're working towards, and it is something that is a shared goal for all of us here today as well.
Thank you so much, Malvika. Vaibhav, over to you.
I mean, I agree with Malvika. I think when I see education that works, I mean, is it for real life? That's the first thing that comes into my mind, specifically in India and at a global stage. That can education be that practical? And that is the approach that I just echoes with me all the time. Yeah.
Right. Ashish, over to you.
Yeah. So for me, I'd like to think as a student. So if you talk about education that works, for me, it's as a student, education that works for me. So it's the education that works for me.
Right. Piyush, over to you.
So this is an education which is a mark of supreme quality, highly differentiated from other similar education providers, and an education which is taking responsibility or accountability of students' career. That is the education which works.
Right. Over to you, Abhishek.
So again, for me, I would think of it as taking charge of my own future. That's how students should think about this. You are empowered to take charge of your own future, and this is the education that will help you. So stand up, step out.
Right. Ankur, over to you.
Yeah, so I think here I would like to quote Nelson Mandela, who said that education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. And that's why education that works, because it has always changed the world. It will, even in today's time, education and science is something which is trying to help us out. So education that works will always take you ahead. That's from my side.
Thank you so much, Ankur. Thank you so much, Malvika, Ashish, Piyush, Abhishek, and Vaibhav for joining us today and always taking out time for our students, the internal students, the students who are there on YouTube with us. Thank you so much. And having said that, there's an announcement that is, everywhere on our social media handles and on the website. Our new logo is standing out, stepping out and standing. So having said that, we have come towards the end of the webinar, and education creates professionals. Just like, quoting Ankur, that education is the most important thing. So education creates professionals. We at Sunstone build your career industry ready. We provide education that works. I repeat, we provide education that works. On that note, we come to the end of today's webinar. It was wonderful interacting with all of you. Thank you to all the campus managers, faculty, students, alumni, and the audience connected with us on YouTube for joining us and being a part of this grand event. We are looking forward to our contest and the winners we will be announcing on social media handles. So stay tuned. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, please click the subscribe button on our YouTube channel to get updates on the latest webinars, videos, and content that can help you grow in your career. Also, don't forget to follow Sunstone Eduversity's social media handles everywhere. Thank you so much. This is me, Harmeet, signing off.